These 14 scholars traveled all the way from Newark, Delaware to Puerto Rico. We had a few goals in mind: learn a new culture and give back to the community. Puerto Rico is an island in the northeastern Caribbean Sea. The current population of Puerto Rico is 3.5 million, who are mostly descendants of the Aboriginal Taino Indians and the Spaniards who followed Christopher Columbus when he first arrived in Puerto Rico in 1493. Puerto Rico stayed part of the Kingdom of Spain until 1898, when Puerto Rico became U.S. territory and was officially named the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico. With such rich cultural diversity and resources, we understood why the island was named Puerto Rico, which translates to the rich port in English.
Looking forward to gain a lot of experience from the community work we'll do in Puerto Rico.
For Puerto Rico, because it will be a utterly new experience for me.
I'm really excited about starting to do some community service and helping others.
This was the first time that an opportunity like this was offered by SABIC or the ELI.
I hear a lot that travel can change a person's personality, and I want to see how this trip to Puerto Rico and doing the community service will change mine.
I'm excited to discover and explore this new country and learn from their culture, community, or even their language.
Excited to try this new experience.
I hope I could make a difference when I go to Puerto Rico on this trip.
I really thank SABIC for giving us this opportunity.
The flight was long and tiring, but it did not kill our excitement that got further amplified when we landed in San Juan. We were all excited to see up close the nature that we got a glimpse of on the plane, excited to start off our journey, and excited to have all our questions about Puerto Rico answered.
When we first came here to Puerto Rico, I was impressed from the hospitality we received from the people in the community. We met Tyrone, our mentor and our leader in the global works. He was very helpful. He was always telling us that he would be always there when we need a question or anything about Puerto Rico. He would be there to help us and assist us and guide us to know more and increase our knowledge about Puerto Rico.
Well, welcome to Puerto Rico, man. We're leaving the airport, heading through the city, pretty much. Capital of Puerto Rico. We're gonna pass by it. It's the beginning of the trip. Hope you guys enjoy. Hope you learn something. Have some good fun, you know.
After getting a little resting time to put our luggage in our rooms, our instructor, Mr. Duarte, called us all in one room to explain in more depth what we were going to do for the following days. He wanted to make sure our trip would be as successful as possible by telling us that every person's actions would affect the rest of the group, and how our actions also represent SABIC, UD, and the ELI. After giving us all more detailed instructions about the trip, we all headed out into Old San Juan, which is a very historical area in San Juan where the Spaniards first settled in and built a wall to protect themselves. It was a nice short walk, but we did not get to explore Old San Juan much because we were going to spend more time there our last day.
Before sleeping, Tyrone told us about next day's schedule, that we'll go and we'll visit some places in Puerto Rico.
Tomorrow morning, what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be heading to the communities. We're gonna be doing a couple different activities throughout the day. We're gonna be getting you guys more situated about where we're going to be working at. We're going to go look at some projects that we've done in the past, and then after that I have a couple things planned for the afternoon after lunch for us to go out and explore a little bit. And I've already been looking into some things for you guys, a little bit more cultural aspect and a little bit more history and some cool spots for you guys to see a little bit more of what Puerto Rico is, where it comes from, and how people are here and things like that.
The first thing after going to breakfast, we went to the place that we will do community service in. And first of all, you can notice immediately that it truly does need some help. When we first came there, Jonathan, the coordinator of the town, gave us a tour to it, and we've seen a lot of rivers there,
and the architecture, of course. It's not completed, but here's what he said to. He gives a building that he said that we will do fixing it and we will do some helping.
And I'm hoping to learn about the, obviously the Puerto Rican culture, but I'm also hoping to learn some new vocab if I could. And I'm also just here to give back to the community, guys.
So, simplemente voy a hablar en español para que ustedes aprendan el vocabulario de Puerto Rico, ¿verdad? Y ustedes, sí. The work that Glowworks does, and you as a family, because we're basically a family now. We know each other, we're getting to know each other. But we probably think that what you do is small, and it's really not. What you kids do, what we do, it's actually a very big impact on the Rio community and in Puerto Rico. Why? Because while many other people are just pushing everyone around and just forgetting about other people's needs, you take from your time, you take from your dedication. Maybe you guys are studying, I'm sure you guys have families, I'm sure you guys have other things to do, and you take from that, forget about yourselves, forget about your own needs, and come to Puerto Rico and come to Rio to help us. So what you do is a very big impact in this community. And when people see those white vans coming up, they're like, oh my God, help is coming. People are coming, they're gonna come to work, they're gonna come help us, we're not forgotten, right? So you guys make a big impact, and don't you ever forget.
One of the things we saw today was the communities and the community service that we're going to do tomorrow. And I have to say, I'm really excited about that. I really want to give back to these people and people of Puerto Ricans, and I was also able to see how the challenges that they were facing here, and how hard their lives are.
Heading to the beach was the best way to end our second day. We had a lot of fun swimming in the water and playing frisbee. Luckily, the weather was in our favor. We did not have to worry about it ruining our fun on the beach. The only thing that we did have to worry about was our work the following day, the first day of construction work in Villa de Rio. We worried about whether we would be of any help to the locals, whether our small efforts would even slightly change their lives for the better.
Today is the third day in our trip in Puerto Rico, and it marked the first day of our community service project. What Jonathan told us yesterday really encouraged us to come excited to work today. He said that the small actions we make have a huge impact on people's life there. We came here to Villa de Rio, and our goal was to draw smiles on people's faces, as well as helping the community. That goal we had motivated us to work harder. When we heard about the process of building the roof, we indeed underestimated it. It turned out to be a really tough mission.
So we woke up this morning all excited and ready to do the work, and we had breakfast in the hotel, and we were ready to roll, and we got in the van.
Really excited and motivated. We headed straight to Villa de Rio, which is the place we are going to work on the building.
So we came here and the house was halfway built. So we're working on the roof.
We learn how to mix the concrete, which contains sand, cement, which is called in Spanish cemento, and water.
Tyrone and Jonathan, who are helping us from the community service, taught us how to mix it, showed us how to, and helped us throughout the day on mixing them and making sure that it's mixed correctly.
It doesn't leave. That way we don't lose water, we don't lose cement, and the mixture is strong and doesn't lose strength.
The challenge is this weather. It's really, really hot and sunny and humid, which is it makes the challenge even more hard on us because we are building the roof, so we don't have anything to shade under.
Watch out.
For our break, the people gave us coconut right from the tree, and they cut it for us, and it's so refreshing to have after a long day of work.
Now I'm in my break in this beautiful sunny weather. It didn't rain like yesterday, so that didn't ruin our day, and I'm having fun with this coconut, and this is my break.
After all that work we have done, we truly felt satisfied and accomplished. All of that hard work paid off when we saw the family's happiness looking at the progress of their work. Every time we shoveled, every time we pushed up wheelbarrow, every time we lifted up a bucket of concrete to the roof, we frankly felt delighted. After that long day, we went to the beach, looking forward to continue the work on the next day.
Here we are in day 4, which is the second day of work in the community. The weather was a bit rainy in the morning, but the rain stopped afterwards. Around 9 o'clock, we were in Villa de Rio. We had to start immediately, so we prepared the gear and wore the safety goggles and gloves. Because it was the second day of the hard work, some of us had sore muscles. But after all, we managed to do our job diligently.
So this is the second day of work, and we're pretty much doing the same thing, mixing concrete and lifting it up to the roof so that the people there could start spreading it out. But I've come to think more about what I'm doing and realize how a day in the life of a construction worker is.
We all have sore muscles and we couldn't work that well at the beginning, but then after we got used to it, after a couple of hours, we were able to complete the roof even better. And the group really came together by singing childhood songs.
On lunch today, we talked to Jonathan. He talked to us about the economical status of Puerto Rico.
After 4 hours of working, we went to the community center, which was built by the government for the community's gatherings and meetings. We had to set up the tables and chairs for us and for the other groups to eat. After setting up the tables, we ate some authentic, delicious Puerto Rican food. Typically, we ate rice and beans with some tasty cooked plantains and some salad.
Mi nombre es Juan Pérez. Tengo 38 años.
My name is Juan Perez. I am 38 years old and was raised here in the island of Puerto Rico.
Well, my name is Lydia Hernandez. I'm 38. I was born and raised in New York City.
Yeah.
First, like I said before, we lived in the land and in a little place. And when we found out about Global Works, we asked them to help us. And they didn't hesitate. We didn't know about it. And then they didn't ask for nothing. They pulled all the materials, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
And my son started helping. And then out of nowhere, we saw something coming out of it. And it was called the house.
Yeah.
And it was a blessing. And then they said, oh, we need somebody to cook. Somebody was cooking before. But I was like, I'll cook. You guys have blessed me. And it's an amazing experience. And we started cooking, and it's a little bit that we're doing because they're doing so much. not only helping us, but the whole community. You guys have no idea how much of a blessing it is for you guys to be here helping us.
While eating, Jonathan opened up his heart and talked to us about Villa de Rio's economical status and his point of view about the current situation at Puerto Rico. After the brief conversation we had with Jonathan, we realized how blessed and lucky we are. We now, as SABIC scholars, have a different perception about life and the surrounding environment.
So, Villa del Rio is considered a special community. Why? Because people in Villa del Rio are not economically blessed, we could say it that way. So the people in Villa del Rio, like we said in the beginning, they invaded this place because they needed a place to stay. Therefore, they couldn't buy a house, they couldn't rent an apartment, they couldn't just go to San Juan and pay maybe $1,000 to rent a place a monthly, or they just didn't have that money. So we work at houses that people that really need, such as Willy Bondo, such as the other group, San Francisco Day School, went to Tito's house. And Tito is just this awesome guy, but he works for everyone except himself. He's a contractor, and his house is not built. So it's ironic that a contractor is like a shoemaker whose sons does not have any shoes. So he works 5 days a week, and then he only has 2 days off, and those 2 days he works at his house. So it's a guy that's always working, so he needs to work so he could invest all his money in his house. And that's basically what Villa del Rio is. You work so you could live, you work so you could survive, and it's a big difference, living and surviving. It's a very, very big difference. We're survivors. We'll go to the mountain and get some plantains and make tostones. We'll go and dig up, take a root, peel it, boil it, and it'll taste delicious. So this community is basically surviving. You survive. You fight to live, you fight for what you want, and you just put all your effort in trying to give your sons, your offspring, the best life possible.
He trabajado como limpiando patio, ¿sabes? Construcción con mi papá. Trabajé en tiendas de ropa.
I was working construction and custodial work and was working in closed stores and summer camps, but the economic situation in Puerto Rico makes it really difficult to find a job. And I have been job hunting for about 2 months and haven't been able to find anything as of right now.
After eating lunch, we used our break to play basketball, football, and volleyball. That break refreshed us physically and mentally, hence we resumed our work with high energy and motivation.
We played a basketball match together. We lost, but we had fun. Now we're continuing building.
At 4 p.m., we finished day 2 in the community service project. We did not have much time to go to the beach because we had to pick up Maria from the airport.
During day 5 in Puerto Rico, we headed bright and early to the community site to work on the new house. The owner of the house, Candido Lopez, needed to have his porch floor fully cemented and to have the railing installed. This is because he said he fell out of his porch, hurting himself a while back because it was so unsafe. We anticipated that the work would be much less tasking than before and would not require as much physical effort. Even though the work was less severe, the whole group was not ready to take it easy yet. If anything, it was a reason to work harder and faster to finish as much of the floor as possible. It is feared that this economic situation would worsen in the future. That is why Johnny and his family work day and night to make a difference in at least this community.
I'm 19, and this is a tough job. But since I could manage this and I could do it, then they gave me the job. If you're 40 years old or if you're 30 and you may be stronger than I am, you had more experience than I am, but if you cannot do this job well, you're not going to get it. So it's what you can do, what you can dominate, and that's how you get chosen for certain things.
When we finished the last day of work, we said our goodbyes to Johnny and his family. We were really motivated to work hard in this day to give as much as we could to the community and Candido. After 3 days of mixing concrete with Johnny and Tyrone, We learned many valuable skills. We never thought that we could actually learn how to mix concrete. We concluded the day by going to the beach so we could unwind and rinse our bodies from all the cement one last time.
It's day 6 already, and our wonderful time here at Puerto Rico was almost over. But nothing would be a better idea than hiking in El Yunque, the only tropical rainforest in the United States National Forest System. We all had our hiking gear on and ready to roll in the very early morning. Tempting to forget the reality that this amazing trip was soon coming to an end. In the hike, we were all challenging each other and throwing bets on who can make it to the top of the mountain.
So in the El Yunque rainforest, that was my first time ever hiking such long distances. We went up so many mountains, so many hills, and saw so much nature. When we reached the first tower, I was really excited to go up because I've never been inside such an antiquated, ancient ruins such as these. So when I went up the tower, I didn't know what to expect, but turns out it was just empty. And we went up the stairs, but it was really worth it because when we went to the top, the view was so amazing. It was an eagle view of the whole, most of the island, and we could see a lot of the nature there.
Initially, everyone thought that he was capable of achieving that challenge, but soon until everyone felt how hard it was. The slippery rock made the climb even harder. Little by little, some gave up and could not make it. But all of us, with no exception, did not regret that challenge. And we all enjoyed the refreshing breeze and gorgeous scene when we made it to the top.
When we reached at the top, I was happy to see the scene, how clouds surrounded my body and how the scene was really beautiful, to see the horizon and all of these things. And actually I stopped taking pictures and I said I'm gonna live the moment at that time.
Right after the hike, we were awarded by an interesting adventure in the dark bay. Here in the bioluminescent Bay of Puerto Rico, where tiny microorganisms twinkle under the water when sensing any motion. Despite the exhaustion after the hike, we were eager to go through that experience, and when the instructions were given, the bay sounded like a piece from heaven to us.
We found that it was hard to kayak, with my partner at least, because we had to sync our movement with each other, and at some times we were about to fall down in the water, but we managed to try to not do that. When we went there, we saw the bioluminescent creatures, and it was quite unique actually, because I've never seen it before, and to see it in your own eyes, it was quite an experience that would never be forgotten.
I don't deny that we had a little drop of fear at that time when we paddled into the dark, narrow canal. But as soon as we made it to the bay, we all shouted, "Whoa, it was worthwhile!" It took seconds for our eyes to adjust to the marvelous scene of the microorganisms creatures that were never saw before.
On day 7, in our Puerto Rican trip, after many of us took the SAT exam, we went to the waterfall slides adventure. The leaders gave us instructions about the waterfall slides. He told us that even though they are fun, the slides can be dangerous, and that we should always follow his instructions. After that, we started walking up the mountain. The trip was not easy, as we had to hike for 1 hour to reach the waterfall slide. On our hike, we learned some multiple plant species that were native to that forest, and we also admired the natural beauty of the forest. When we arrived to the waterfall slide, we were afraid of taking that step. However, after our leaders slid down the waterfall slide, we were eager to slide down. We were all satisfied that we overcame our fears. The leaders also mentioned a challenge for those who were courageous enough to do it. He challenged us to jump off a 30-feet rock into the water. For those who did it, they felt the sense of accomplishment because they conquered their fear of heights. Overall, doing such adventurous activities has increased our confidence in a positive way. We did actions that we would never think about doing before going to this trip, which really made it unique. For us, this experience was one of the most memorable experiences that we have ever had and will always cherish it.
Day 8, we the SABIC adventurers woke up bright and early for our last day in Puerto Rico. We had to be finished with packing our bags and getting into the vans by 8:30 a.m. While doing that, each of us was thinking about how it would be difficult for us to say adios to Puerto Rico because we felt connected to that land, for Puerto Ricans welcomed us and made us feel at home. Those thoughts kept running through our heads. While doing so, we arrived and found Old San Juan waiting with a bittersweet smile on its face, knowing that it would be a farewell.
Alright, everybody. Well, I'm Alvin, guys. I'm going to be your tour guide for the Old San Juan tour, okay? We like to start here because through this route is where we're going to cover a lot of main monuments, and most of the history of Puerto Rico actually starts right there, okay? The San Juan Bay. Alright, Christopher Columbus on his second voyage to the New World discovered and landed in Puerto Rico, and a couple years later, 1508, Juan Ponce de Leon is appointed as the first governor of the island. This is the area that they first settled. They actually settled on the other side, what's called Caparra or Pueblo Viejo, and in 1508 is when he was appointed, and he called this Puerto Rico.
During our tour in Old San Juan, we have visited a lot of historical monuments and historical statues there in Old San Juan, which gave me an imagination of how it looks like the ancient Puerto Rican villages and castles. During that tour also we had a tour guide which facilitated our tour there to make it much easier. And that tour was very beneficial for me, that I became more open-minded. I met a new culture, new history, and I became more aware about a new history, a new country, basically. We ended that tour with having lunch in an authentic Puerto Rican restaurant, and finally we did some shopping there to get some gifts for our friends.
So here we are, at the end of our journey, just sitting in the vans, thinking about the good times we had in Puerto Rico, building houses, helping others, motivating each other to do our best, and thinking about the smiles we had on people's faces. Now we're looking forward to applying what Puerto Ricans taught us, to be humble, help everyone, and be thankful for what we have.